What's up, board game people? This is another busy week in November with quite a few great projects launching. I don't know if I'll get to them all, but I'm going to try to get to as many as possible. Today we're starting with Werewolf the Apocalypse Retaliation from Flyos Games. I don't get any money for my videos from game companies or publishers. We saw Flyos do a stunning job with vampires, and now they're tackling the other side of the coin with an intriguing take on the Werewolf the Apocalypse series. Retaliation is a mature, narrative-driven dungeon crawler encompassing over 30 unique scenarios and a branching campaign that allows for 1 to 4 players. Screams emanate from the dark. Your pack, the Yosemite Valley Guru Sept, has come under attack by vile and twisted creatures. The cairn where the Guru can feel the pain of Gaia has been all but destroyed. Who would do such a thing? With everything in ruins, it falls to you and your pack to rebuild and gather allies. You're outgunned, outmanned, and outnumbered. Avoid the minions of the worm bent on destroying you all. Find what you need and gather it through force or guile. The odds are against you. Deadly abominations and devious humans would destroy the world to line their pockets. Call upon the spirits from the Umbra, choose your strategies wisely, and retaliate. In this game, combat is a central focus. You must plan carefully, build strength, and make sacrifices when necessary to survive. The way you play and your choices determine who you are. You will find your place in the pack, and you must all band together to fight back. Play the way you wish, as a brutal force of nature dealing out justice to those who strike at the heart of Gaia, or as a compassionate protector leading your pack through this apocalypse and driving back the evil threatening your world. The game is presented as a Retaliation core box, and then expanded through the Aftermath expansion series, currently sitting at 4 individual boxes. It seems that the core tells a complete story. Aftermath offers you a large selection of tribes to lead through the campaign, new allies, and a few semi-interconnected scenarios to play through. Let's look at how you can get your hands on the game. Please note that all prices are in Canadian dollars. You should look closely at the conversion to your currency. First up, at $1 Canadian, you get access to the Pledge Manager and updates. For $149 Canadian, you get the Hamid Pledge, which gets you the core game and all unlocked stretch goals. At $266 Canadian, you get the Lupus Pledge, granting you the core game, stretch goals, and all packs of the Aftermath expansion. Finally, at $399 Canadian, you get the Shrenos Pledge. This pledge includes the core game, all stretch goals, all packs of the Aftermath expansion, the metal dice set, the metal trophy set, the painted miniature set, and the terrain miniature set. And of course you can pick and choose as you like in the add-on section. For $49 Canadian, you get the metal dice set. For $39 Canadian, you get the metal trophy set. For $49 Canadian, and not included in the all-in, get all tribe satchels. That is 11 faux leather dice satchels. The terrain miniatures run $69 Canadian, and the painted miniatures set with 15 to 20 operations will run you $59 Canadian. For some reason, the multiple parts of the Aftermath expansion are not listed here, but you can add them as add-ons when you're making your pledge or in the Pledge Manager later. These are running approximately $30 US a piece. The campaign has monetary stretch goals and dailies that are just now starting up. In the way of stretch goals, they're already blowing through them, giving us 2 Black Spiral Dancer miniatures, a side quest, a piece of concept art, linen finish on the cards, side quest 2, and the Pavement Bane boss miniature. On the horizon is original music for the game and insert trays. The dailies, as they have called them, will be community-driven content such as NPCs, enemies, and much more. Let's take a look at that shipping. Shipping prices here are reasonable on what's expected to be a very large and very heavy box, or set of boxes. It doesn't appear that VAT or taxes are included in the pledge or shipping costs. But don't take my word for it. Read carefully for yourself. I might be wrong. So, let's talk thoughts and opinions. This is a tricky one. I honestly saw the $399 all-in and almost ran. It took my addled brain far too long to realize the project is run in Canadian dollars and the all-in price is more realistically around $300 US. But there's a larger discussion of value and price to be had. First, looking at the core, which comes into around, let's say, $115 US. That's not a horrible price. The choice of a mix of miniatures and standees is probably going to irk a few people, but for me it's acceptable. I would love to see the option to get all of the enemies as miniatures as well, but that remains to be seen. Flyos definitely has some more surprises in store for us. Next, the Lupus Pledge is where things get a bit fuzzy for me. It's around $200 for the core and what is essentially one 4-part expansion. This is a little odd. In fact, the way they have the expansions listed just strikes me as odd all the way around. Each expansion part or box is listed with a price of around $30. So simple math. 4 parts times $30 puts the Aftermath expansion costing $120 which is more than the core game with much less content. Each Aftermath part shows it includes a single scenario when the core game includes over 30. Something's just a little off here, and I think it's how the expansion is presented. If you want more than the core box for an expansion with less content, it better be something truly special. Sadly, for the time being at least, these expansion packs seem to be a few miniatures, some cards, tokens, and a single scenario that'll take you about 30 minutes per player. The scenarios are more of a one-off. They're loosely connected, but any scenario can be played with or without the need of the others for context or continuity. So if we look at the Lupus Pledge with the core, it puts the Aftermath expansion really costing around $90 You're getting about a $30-ish discount with this pledge. Then looking at the Serenos Pledge, you could say that $200 of the $300 cost there is just the core and the expansions. The add-ons come up to about $160 total if you were to buy them separately, so you're getting about a savings of $60 in add-ons and $30 for the expansion, for a total of $90 savings. Getting the Serenos Pledge is only a savings if you want everything that's included. Aftermath had potential to be something great, tell a new story, and expand on the battle with the worm, but instead it only offers you a small play session with a choice of different tribes to replay the core campaign with. For me, that doesn't offer enough incentive to get me to want to play the campaign a second time. So the expansions are going to be a hard pass for me unless some major changes happen. I will happily get the core, add a few add-ons, and still feel like I'm getting a good deal. In the way of add-ons, the prices are semi-fair, but they aren't a bargain. The painted miniatures probably will have the highest perceived value here, so if you want those, I'd say go for it. Me, I have to pass on them. The terrain kit is a bit expensive. The metal trophy set is priced a bit too high for the 40 metal coins, and on top of the $29 price tag, you're going to be charged an extra $10 alone just to ship those. The metal dice are a bit plain for my tastes, and they look incredibly hard to read. They really need to add some color to those symbols. As for the game itself, I really wish they had let Vampires Masquerade's chapters be delivered to backers before launching another game based off the same game system. Do I think it'll be a good game system? Yes. I've read everything I can on the system, and it looks to work, be engaging, and I like that Werewolves is going to focus more on survival-style play and combat. Their game system is flexible enough to handle this kind of stretching without breaking totally. Flyos seems to put a lot of thought and iteration into their design and development work. Their games are looking top-notch. If they continue to push to better the quality and content they're presenting, they'll go far in this industry, and we have a future of many great games to come from them. So if you're a fan of World of Darkness, this is likely a must-back for you. In fact, I believe you're the likely target audience of the Aftermath expansion. If you're going to want to play this campaign more than 2 times, the expansion is something you will be wanting, and it may be worth bumping to a higher pledge level for. If you're a casual observer, or a fan like me who will only play through the core campaign once, maybe twice, I'm going to suggest you just stick with the Hamid pledge, now just getting the core, and then add-ons that you may want. If the subject matter doesn't throw you, it'll likely be a good enough crawler to capture your attention, but in the end this might not be the game for you. There's no escaping the theme here. It's out front, loud, and proud. Also, if you're not the type to want to play through mid to long campaign games, there are 30+ scenarios in the core box here. That might not be for you either. Overall, I think the game will be a great twist on what makes chapters tick. The focus on brutal combat, dire survival situations, and the choice-driven campaign really resonates with me and has me at least at the Hamid pledge. I'm keeping a close eye on this one in hopes that they still have some surprises coming our way, and I'll definitely let you know if anything big comes up. Werewolf Apocalypse Retaliation looks like it will in fact deliver on the promise of a spectacular follow-up to chapters. This week is packed with exciting projects that have launched and big news from others that are just around the corner. I'll be back later this week with more coverage of some awesome campaigns. Please consider subscribing to help our little channel grow and to ensure you don't miss a thing. My sincere thanks to all of you watching and chatting in the comments. You all keep me going. Thanks, and play something fun tonight.